Hey everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with another tabletop video review. Today we're taking a look at an AEG Airsoft gun. And the one I have here on the table is the ASG CZ Scorpion EVO 3A1. It's a 6mm Airsoft rifle or gun or whatever you want to call it, CQB, PDW. Now it does come in a carbine version. I'll show you that really quickly later. But what I want to do is take a look at this gun right now, talk about some specifications, things like that. I haven't done the field test shooting video for this product yet. Hopefully I'm going to be doing that next week for you guys. And this gun is listed in our Canada Replica Airgun store. It's not in stock right now. We don't have a lot of stock of these particular guns, even the carbine version. Maybe we'll get them later. Part of the problem for that is that this gun's actually quite a bit older. Now I wouldn't say this gun is discontinued per se, but there, will probably be newer versions of this with different potential internals and things like that. So I will be speaking about this version. It is, I believe, close to 6 years old now. I remember talking to ASG at SHOT Show about it. They were really excited when they announced this product. And I did get it a while back, but for some reason I really haven't reviewed it. I think at the time we were going to do some sort of special promotion, so I was waiting to do the review, but that just didn't happen. So I'll take the opportunity right now to go over this gun, talk about some specifications and features. Next week we'll do a bit of a shooting video. And since I haven't received a lot of new products lately, maybe we'll be taking a look at some older guns over the next few weeks. Guns that maybe I didn't feature that much or even feature at all on the channel. All right, let's go over the specifications. It is an authentic CZ Scorpion replica, licensed through ASG. It uses 6mm plastic airsoft BBs. It is an AEG system, and you can use either 7.4 volt or 11.1 volt. It is LiPo ready as well. It shoots in semi-auto, 3-round burst, and full auto with the selector switch, which is ambidextrous. Has a claimed FPS of around 309 FPS with a QD quick change release spring, with a QD quick change spring system. And you can easily get to the spring just by folding the stock closed and popping out that spring. You don't have to get into the gearbox or anything like that. Really nice and easy. This gun has a mid-capacity 75-round magazine with magazine detection, which locks the bolt lock. So when you pop a new magazine in, you will have to release that bolt lock to continue firing. That's nice, so you don't just fire empty ammunition for no reason. This gun weighs 5.3 pounds or 2,400 grams, has a length of 425 to 623 millimeters or 16.7 to 24.5 inches, depending on if the stock is out and what position that stock happens to be in. Now this gun is made out of metal and nylon fiber. It is a PA6 polymer reinforced product, so very high quality. It also utilizes CNC machine parts, which would include the outer barrel, the flash hider, the barrel nut, and the gearbox. You're also going to find an electronically controlled gearbox that controls all aspects of the electronics and helps with battery efficiency and responsiveness of the trigger. Now the ejection port does lock back for easy hop-up adjustments. And again, you have a folding, adjustable, and removable stock. You'll notice that this gun includes a removable iron sights with an adjustable peep sight on the back and a fiber optic front sight. Now these can come off and you can put whatever you want on there, possibly a red dot or different iron sights, depending on what you're looking for. This gun also features a quad rail design, so you have rails on the sides, the bottom, and a nice long one on the top. It also utilizes pretty much full ambidextrous controls other than the bolt release, which is just on the left side. Now right now you'll see the charging handle is on the left side, but you can put it on the right side if you do want to. And this gun is distributed and licensed by ASG. It's also made in Europe, in Denmark. So I'll quickly show you the carbine version. It's essentially the same gun, just with a longer front portion. So that whole front portion is much longer, right? You have different rail system right here, right? But you do have a Picatinny style rail on the top, okay? But other than that, it's pretty much the same. It's just a longer front end, but the back end is all the same, including the folding stock. All right, let's take a quick walk around of this gun and look at it in some detail here. Try and get in as close as I can. Okay, you see the nice rail system. Now this product is really nice and solid feeling. It's not overly heavy, but it's definitely a lot light. Now I'll show you this in a bit, but you do have the CNC machined flash hider here, okay, and barrel nut as well, CNC machined and barrel. Okay, there's your charging handle. And you can see how it locks back until you release it, which I can't until I eject the magazine. So now I would need to, sorry, there we go. I would need to have a full magazine in to eject it with the magazine in, but since this magazine is empty, it's not going to allow me to do that. You have the 3 position adjustments here: semi, 3-round burst, full auto, okay? And the trigger just locks in place when it's locked. Get a little bit of play here when it's not. There's your bolt catch again. There's your CZ Scorpion EVO 3A1. Okay, you have ambidextrous magazine release. It's on both sides. Just the one-sided bolt release. You have hook-in points, okay? Now you have this nice fiber optic sight on the front, okay, orange. And then you have a peep sight in the back, which is adjustable. You can see you have your height adjustment here and your windage adjustment on the right, okay? Now you can move this anywhere you want on the rail, a little closer, further away if you want to, okay? Really nice quality plastics. I'm just going to take the magazine out so it's a little easier to show you around this gun. Rail on the bottom. Okay, let's see the other side real quick here. So you do have this folding stock. Okay, just kind of snaps in place. You can adjust it for length a little bit there. Okay, and then you just fold it up, pull that in. And you can fold it whether it's in the full fold up position or not if you want to, but it'll grip in a little better when it's closed. Okay, you also got, hopefully you can see that, this is your spring. If you want to pop that out, you can change the spring, and that would be for adjusting the velocity if you want to do different velocities for close quarter shooting or further out shooting. It's up to you. Okay, again, you have that bolt that stays back. Okay, so let's unscrew this part here. Now, if you want to take the front end off, which is where the battery would go, not a big battery, mind you, so I've got a battery that won't fit. My 11-volt battery will not fit in here. Okay, so a lot of threads there. Now, what you got to make sure you do is you don't lose this when you pull this out off, because what'll happen is this can come out, and you can take the spring out. You see, you got a spring in here, right? You can remove that spring, and you can put everything on the other side if you want to. Okay, so that's kind of neat. If you want to change sides, you can do that. Okay, so we'll put that. That's the front portion, and then here you have the battery. You can put a battery down here. So if you have a long battery, you can pop it down here, and part of it can come up the front because there is space on the top, but you can't get, you know, a big battery in here. So for me, when I'm going to do my shooting test, I'm going to have to shoot it like this. Not a big deal. I'll just probably move the sight back onto here. So I'll put the sight here and here for the time being to shoot it, or maybe put a red dot on there or something like that. So let's put this in semi-auto, 3-round burst, full auto, right? So if I put that magazine in, it should detect that there's no BBs in it. See? It detects that there's no BBs. Okay? If I pop it out, now, there we go. Okay, but you put that in, all of a sudden no BBs, and it's going to stop. So you'd have to actually bring the bolt release back to fire it again at that point once you put the new magazine in. So very realistic in terms of that, you know, being able to do that. All right, we got a big mess on the table, but that's okay. I'm not going to put it back together at this point. We're going to go over some pros and cons. So some of the pros: the build quality is almost exactly like the real steel version. Super high quality materials, fiber reinforced polymer, you know, CNC machine parts. And don't quote me on this, but I remember when I was talking to the ASG people, I was told that some of these parts could in fact just be parts from an actual gun, like the stock and certain parts. In no way could you convert this because the internals are completely different. But some of the outer parts, like the stock and whatnot, could in fact be the real actual products from the real gun. Like there was no point in reinventing them if they were the same. And the fact they worked with CZ on this gun to produce it. So anyways, don't quote me on that, but I remember them talking about that, and that was many years ago. So the quality is what I'm trying to say is really high quality parts through and through. I like the fact that there's 3 shooting modes: semi-auto, burst, and full auto mode. So you have lots of different options. A 3-round burst mode is nice, especially for close quarters. You don't want to be emptying your ammo out too quickly, but you want to get some shots on target quickly as well. And it has that decent mid-capacity 75-round magazine, again with that auto empty detection. I like that you have the quad rails for add-on accessories, whatever you want to put on there. And some people for this gun have put little battery compartments on the side, so they've routed the cabling out the gun and put like a mock battery compartment on the side, making putting a larger battery a little easier and swapping it out a little bit easier. I like that you have that folding and adjustable stock that, by the way, can be removed if you want to make this more into a pistol. I'm not sure you would want to do that, but you could. And it also comes with removable iron sights that have the built-in fiber optics in the front and that peep sight that's fully adjustable in the back. It also has a working bolt catch release that you need to engage once you pop a new magazine in there for realism. And when you pull that charging handle back, the ejection port stays open, allowing for easy hop-up adjustment. You're also going to find super high quality electronics and gearbox. And I like that most of the controls are ambidextrous, including the charging handle, the magazine release, and the selector switch. Of course, this gun is Scorpion licensed via ASG, and that orange tip, right, which you could take off this part here, but it's well hidden once you actually put the flash hider back on. You don't really see it that much, so it's not really worth removing in my opinion. All right, a few cons. That battery compartment is very small and it's a little finicky getting a battery in there and then trying to close it up and keep the wires intact without, damaging anything. So I would suggest either using a smaller battery or running an external battery pack of some sort. And I haven't mentioned it up to this point, this gun is fairly pricey. It's not an inexpensive gun, $400 or $500 easily. Depends on the time you're looking at this gun, but $500 for sure all day long for this product. That's Canadian. US, it would be a little cheaper. And that's really it for cons. There's not much negative to say about it. This is a really cool product, really high quality. I'm looking forward to testing it out when I do my field test shooting video next week. All right, I want to remind you, we do have lots of ASG products, even if these aren't in stock at the time of this video. Hopefully we can get them in at some point. It's a nice product, but we do have a ton of ASG products. We do have a ton of other airsoft rifles as well over in our Canada and US online Replica Airgun stores over at replicaairguns.ca for Canada and replicaairguns.us for the US. So make sure to check out those channels. If you're in Canada, again, use the Canada one. If you're in the US, use the US website. All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe before you head out. Also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, take care.